All right, let's get started.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into this very special second stream of the day, in which we're going to be doing some charcoal drawing. Soul Commodore here, by the way. So yeah, we're going to be doing some more charcoal drawing for this show that I've got coming up. So hopefully y'all are up for seeing some drawing today. I think what I'm going to do for this stream is we're going to basically go until either an hour or an hour and a half is passed, or until the drawing's finished. So whichever one comes first is what we're going to do. So let me just move this light a little bit. There we go. And let me move this camera down. It's easier actually if I stand up to do this. So let's do that. Let me spin it around so you guys can see it the right way. And let's get it placed on the table where we want it. I think that's pretty good. So we won't mess with it. We'll just go with that. Okay. So I'm going to swing around the table here, sit back down, and now we can get to work. Okay. Let me bring up my reference image, because that's very important. There we go. But I hope you all are having a wonderful evening. My girlfriend and I went and looked at some Halloween decorations. Went on a little walk. Just looked at some of those around a neighborhood nearby us. One of the people got one of them big old, like 10-foot skeletons that have been popping up all of a sudden. So that was a pretty impressive sight, I must say. Yeah, this is a very special second stream because we usually don't stream now. I usually only stream Sunday mornings, but my girlfriend is in a meeting for her Dragon Boat team for coaches, for Dragon Boat coaches, and I've got nothing else to do tonight, so figure I might as well stream for y'all because I'd be working on these drawings anyway, so I might as well share it with you all, you know. There we go. And now let's get into it. Let me know if the music is too quiet or too loud. Same with my voice, so I can always change the audio settings. Didn't actually want to take that much charcoal off this bit here. I just wanted to lighten it a little. So what we're basically going for here is a blur effect. That's what we're aiming for with this. There we go. I'm going to take off a little layer of the charcoal. Just off the top. And then we're going to try and blur it out again. Yo, Squid, how's it going? How's it going? Hope you're having a fine night or day, whatever time of day it is for you. But welcome on in. Nope, that's too dark. I need to lighten that up. We did escape. As a matter of fact, we escaped by accident. We actually jumped a couple of clues in the escape room. So we escaped, and then they were like, well, I mean, you've still got time left, because I think we had like 45 minutes. Like, you still got time left. Do you want to try and find the clues that you missed, because you skipped ahead, basically. So we got to uncover some of the other some of the clues that we had basically skipped, and it's just because, like, we solved a puzzle out of order, so we did everything right. It's not like we cheesed our way through it. We didn't cheat or anything. We just solved one of the puzzles in the escape room out of sequence, which led us to the escape. So, but yes, we escaped. I didn't need to bring any emergency rations in case we were trapped in there forever. So it was a good day. It was a good day. The escape room was a neat premise too, because it's in a there's a museum near us that's basically like a historic museum about like what life was like in this area, like way back in the 1800s. So basically there was a rebellion going on, and we were some of the rebels, and we got captured, and basically the conceit was we had to escape before the person who captured us went and gathered the militia for us to be executed. And we had 45 minutes, because it was going to take them about 45 minutes to go and get the militia, so we had to hurry. And we managed to do it. could have lived rent-free if you hadn't escaped. I mean, that is true. That is true. You might be onto something there. The problem was this place that we were at in the escape. There was no bathroom, so that might get a little hairy after a little bit, you know. Asking for keys might be awkward. True. That as well. They probably wouldn't be keen on us having keys. What with it being a place of business and all. But it was fun. It was a good time. And we had done an escape room there before. But it was kind of cool because it was in a different room than the last escape room we did there, which I wasn't expecting. You know, so that was a neat experience as well. It was a completely different building that we went to. And it was all like dark and spooky too, because again, it's a historic building, so there's no indoor lights. So basically, they had like some real candles and some fake candles, you know, to provide us with lighting. And then they gave us flashlights too, which is a little bit out of date, but I mean, they're smart. They figured like we had our phones anyway, so you might as well provide some flashlights because most phones come with a flashlight. So they just provided us with flashlights too. And what made me feel really good too is, and I mean this might be conceited of me, but I solved 3 of the puzzles. So that made me feel good. You know, they were going to, but they had just run out of juice when we showed up. So we had to do with modern day batteries. No lemons left, damn it. Yeah, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but... No, if y'all are ever up in the Pickering area and you want to go to Pickering Museum Village, if they've got... I mean, it's cool to go visit anyway, but if they've got an escape room going on, it's a fun time. I recommend it. But yeah, we did that. We did that escape room on Thursday, and then Friday. What did we do on Friday? Oh, my memory's going. We did something cool on Friday though. I'm just trying to remember. I'm sure it'll come to me. And then yesterday was my girlfriend's. My girlfriend coaches dragon boats. She used to race them too. She might go back to racing them, but for the time being, she's sticking to coaching. And they had their banquet yesterday to sort of end the season officially before they kick into the off-season programming. So that was a fun night. And then today we've done a whole lot of nothing. Like we went and took a walk to see some Halloween decorations, but outside of that, not too much. It's really bothering me that I can't remember what it is that we did on Friday. Like it's right at the edge of my brain, but I can't place it. And I'm using my phone as my webcam, so I can't even look on my phone and be like, "What is it that we did?" Otherwise, the stream will cut out, and that's no good for anybody. But I hope that everybody watching had a good weekend as well. I'm leaving a little bit of an edge around this face here, because if I don't, when I go to blur everything, it's going to, like the edges of the blur are going to cut into the face more so than the edges around the face, and it's going to make the face look a little bit too small proportionally. So I'm just leaving a little bit of room. Actually, while we're here, we might as well blur that out now. Actually, I'm going to do down here first, and then we'll blur it. Need to semi-lurk for a while, but we'll stay with the stream. Hey, no problem. No problem. No worries. We're very thankful for anybody who comes in, whether they're lurking or whether they're, active in chat, or it's all good. It's all good. Whatever you got to do, feel free to go do it. Just to appreciate you having here, or appreciate having you here is the correct order of those words. Yeah, for sure. Feel free to lurk. We do have a lurk command if you want to just do !lurk. And if not, I will sing you our lurk song. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Thank you for the lurk, Squid. And actually, speaking of lurk, I gotta go check on something real quick. This will only take like 30 seconds, but I am gonna go to the be right back screen. So we will be right back, just like in 30 seconds or so. I just gotta go check on something. So be right back, everybody. All right, and we're back. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Just had to go check on something real quick. Basically, there was a weird buzzing noise. Almost like not a staticky noise, but you know when you get like some sort of like electrical interference and it's just like an annoying, like high-pitched noise that just... you can't really explain it, but it's there. It was that. And turns out it was a light bulb that had burnt out. So I just removed the light bulb and the sound stopped. So now I don't have an annoying ringing in my ears while I'm trying to stream. So we're going to do the halo of blur around this figure's face. I mean, this figure is me. It's a picture of me when I was back in university, but Go. That ended up being a beautiful blur effect, actually. They're coming around this. Yeah, that worked really well, actually. I was telling a friend of mine from university, with the seasons changing and everything, I don't know what it is about fall. I think it's probably because like that's when school started for us, right? The fall, and especially university, like the semesters really started to kick in like right around like mid-October or so, because that's when you would have your first midterms and all that kind of stuff. And for some reason, this time of year when it's all like chilly and everything outside and it's starting to get a little frosty and the sun goes down sooner and all that, it really brings to mind, sitting out at the bus stop waiting for the bus, because all you really want to do is get out of the cold and get home, right? And it makes me kind of nostalgic. A bit more of a blur around the face. There we go. Boy, I can't tell you guys how much is bothering me that I can't remember what it is that we did on Friday. Oh, no, you know what? I remember what it is that we did. I can't believe I forgot about it. So, a couple of years ago, when my girlfriend and I started dating, and by a couple, I mean like 4 years ago. It's been a while. We went to a concert for one of the an artist that she really likes, named Johnny Reed. So for her birthday this year, I got her tickets to a Johnny Reed concert that was happening. It was on Friday. So that's what we were doing. That's what we did on Friday. Yeah, we went to Smoke's Poutineery, and then went and saw it was a fantastic concert, actually. Johnny Reed puts on a fantastic show. Fantastic show. Very engaged with the crowd. Tells a lot of stories with his songs, like in between songs and all that. Gives his backing band a lot of pop, a lot of room to work. Interacts with them quite a bit. Because there are some artists that don't do that. It's always kind of a shame. I'm just going to turn this around and see how this looks for me. Yeah, looks good. Looks good. Okay. So now we're just going to continue on. But yeah, that was a really fun show. It was just such an action-packed weekend that... Because, like, we did stuff Thursday, and then Friday, and then yesterday. Today was the first day that we really relaxed, so... And to be honest, I probably would have forgotten to talk about the escape room if Squid hadn't brought up the escape room. My memory is not what it used to be, I tell you. You know, it's crazy. These beats and everything, they kind of make you nostalgic for things that you haven't even experienced. It's the craziest thing. And along those lines, like, it makes you nostalgic for times that weren't even, like, you hadn't even experienced this music during the time in your life when you're feeling nostalgic for it. Because I was talking about, like, university and all that. And this music always, for whatever reason, makes me nostalgic for university. Even though I didn't listen to any of it. I've said this multiple times before on other streams, but I didn't listen to any of this music when I was in university. You know, most of the songs on this playlist probably didn't even exist when I was in university. But it sure makes me nostalgic for that time. I've mentioned this too, but I think the biggest thing that I miss about university, because I didn't have the greatest university experience academic-wise. I was one of those kids who did really, really well in high school. You know, 90s across the board, A pluses across the board, excellence across the board. Lots of, like, academic awards and achievements, and won a couple of scholarships for academic stuff, like to have my books paid for and all that kind of stuff. Provided I kept my grades up in university. And then I got to university and realized that when I was in high school, of course, I didn't actually learn how to study at all. I didn't learn how to do anything like that, you know? That classic story. So... academic, but also, like, I got pretty disillusioned with the visual arts program at my school as time went on, because I realized that at the end of the day they weren't really teaching me anything, and I felt like I was just kind of wasting my money. Well, my money, the Ontario government's money, because I certainly couldn't afford to pay for university without OSAP. So. But yeah, just kind of felt lost, like I was wasting my time, you know. Wasn't a good experience. But socially, I had a great time at university. I mean, I made a number of friends, some of whom I'm still very close with. Like one of my friends I've talked about before, like I've ended stream because I'm going to have lunch with them or something like that, right? And then a couple others that I regularly talk to, a couple more that I don't regularly talk to, but whenever I do, I always like catching up with them, you know. So socially, on the social side of school, that was much better. Because I was a very shy kid. I was a very shy, like when I was a little kid, I was really shy. I came out of my shell a little bit in high school, but still really only kept to my close friends. Then university really like got me out of my shell, you know? And I credit a lot of these friends that I have for doing so, right? Because I was only one of, I think, like 3 or 4 students from my high school in my hometown that went to the school that I went to, the University of Western Ontario. Now it's just Western University, but there weren't a whole lot of us that went there. So I was kind of a fish out of water, like. But a lot of people at Western, like, embraced me, and that's what I kind of miss about university. Is part of the university experience that I appreciated was everyone around you is kind of going through the same thing, you know. Half awake but here to watch the hand stream. May pass out, but I'm here. Hey, Trip, welcome in. Good morning to you. Good morning. I hope you had a good rest. But I miss in university having people around you that are all kind of like going through the same thing, experiencing the same thing, in terms of like all the students. Because obviously the students are different ages, but you're kind of in it with everyone else, you know? Just going through it. And it's easier to relate to other people, you know? And then you get into the working world and you're working with all sorts of different people of all sorts of different age groups and you know, university also made it easier to make friends, because a lot of times, like, you make friends due to proximity, right? And then you get out into the working world and it's like, well, I guess I'm going to be friends with my coworkers. Unless you like take up a hobby or something like that that's more active and more participatory with other people, you know. And there's nothing wrong with like making friends with your workmates and your colleagues, but that's not for everybody, you know. So that's one thing I kind of miss about university, is everyone kind of being all around the same age, going through the same stuff, you know. You're all going through midterms and finals together, and even if it's not the same courses, you can all kind of relate to each other, right? And I miss that. As opposed to like being in the working world and like having a colleague that's like talking about paying off their mortgage, and you're like, I can't even afford a mortgage, you know, because housing prices are insane. I can't even dream about getting a mortgage. Oof. Sorry about that sound. These charcoal pencils can get a little squeaky. I'll try to keep the squeaks to a minimum, but I can't make any promises. Yeah, Trip, I hope you're having a good morning. And I hope, if it is a good morning, I hope it translates into a good day. And if it's a bad morning, I also hope that it translates into a good day. Okay. Let's do some blur effects on this now before we move forward. Anyway, that's what I was talking with my friend about, just via text this past weekend. It's like how much easier it was to like just be amongst friends as well. Like, it was so cool, like just walking across campus and you run into people that you know. It didn't happen every day, but every once and again, it was just like a nice, fun occurrence. There we go. Yeah, that blur effect's coming across real nicely, at least from what I can see on the screen. Because I'm up close to it, it looks a little different. Like, obviously you can tell that it's a drawing, but from a distance, and by distance I mean like what I see in the screen actually, it's a good effect. I'm pleased with how this is turning out so far. Nostalgia can be a difficult thing sometimes. I remember when I was still living at home after I'd finished university, one of my favorite things to do is like take walks. I love going on walks around my neighborhood and elsewhere. And I remember taking a walk around my old elementary school, and then I decided, well, I'm just gonna keep going, and I walked past my old high school as well. And I remember I came home, and my dad was still awake, because I like taking walks at night. I should mention too. Usually, most of my walks are late night walks, and I came home and I told my dad, it's weird. I went and walked past my old high school and walked past my old elementary school, and I came to the realization that I'll probably never ever set foot in either of those buildings ever again, because I don't have a reason to, right? Like, at the time I didn't have any relatives that went to those schools, and there are a few teachers there still at those schools that would remember me, but I'm not going to go visit them, right? If I wanted to visit with them, what I'd do is I'd like hit them up on Facebook and or something like that and be like, hey, we should catch up. I'm not just going to walk into the school and be like, hi, I'm here to visit Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, because he'd be like, and who are you? So it's one of those things where it's like, and then that came to the realization that there's probably a lot of those people that I'll never see again, I'll just never see them again. Which is weird, because like at the time of my life, like those are people that you're not necessarily closest to because they're teachers, but like you see them every day, right? They're a pivotal part of your upbringing, or they can be at least, for good reasons and also for bad, sometimes. But you'll just never. I'll probably never see them again. And my dad said, "Son," because my dad worked as a social worker for years and years, and doing a lot of youth outreach and trying to help connect with them and get them what they need. And he said, "Son, I have so many clients that have had nervous breakdowns and mental health crises because they came to that same realization that they'll never be able to go back to those times, So it's nostalgia's that kind of like, it's a double-edged sword. It's actually, I think like the definition of nostalgia, like the root of it, the word, is sort of like something like a almost like a painful, happy memory, You think of those times fondly, but also come to the realization that you can never relive them, and that's painful in kind of a way, I talk about that a lot on my streams, but I guess it's just because it's something that comes to mind quite often as I get older. Not like I'm ancient or anything, but you know, it crosses your mind. Yo, Andromeda, welcome in. How are you? Welcome on in. Good to see you. Yo, hold on a second. Got to give a shout out to Andromeda. If y'all want some fantastic art, also Andromeda plays some games as well sometimes. But if y'all want some fantastic art using mediums that you might not even consider could be venues of making art, you should check out Andromeda Creates. Fantastic artwork. Also, really, really, really nice community over there. You know, it's done really well to cultivate a really, really good community. So, y'all should go give Andromeda a follow. You will not be disappointed. Hey, no worries, no worries. How are you? I hope the rest of your stream earlier went well. After I had to bounce to take care of some things. I went to go eat food. We're just talking a little bit about nostalgia and how because this music always makes me feel nostalgic about things, and particularly university, and just talking about how there's certain things that you'll never be able to experience again because those times have passed, and how nostalgia can be kind of painful that way, but also you're thankful for those experiences at the same time. It's a weird thing. It's a very weird thing. Essentially, every time I listen to this music and get nostalgic like that, I always think like, oh, man, I need to text like every single one of my university friends. Be like, hey, how are things hanging? How are things going? You know? There we go. All right, let me catch up with chat here. It was a lot of fun. Thanks so much. Oh, good. I'm glad. I like the frosted effect of the piece you're working on. Oh, thank you. Yes. So, this piece, I'll show you some of the other stuff we've done. Because what we're doing is, I got invited to do a solo show in February. So I want this show to have a theme. And the theme I chose was the theme of grief, and there's going to be some paintings, some oil and acrylic paintings involved with it, like the ones I was mentioning in your stream that were like 6 feet by 4 feet. Those are going to be part of it. But another element of grief that I wanted to capture was how grief can... Whoops, dropping pencils over here. How grief can mess with memory. It can distort memory, it can alter memory, it can kind of fragment it. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. There's going to be about 50 of these little 11 by 11 vignettes. And all of them are going to be distorted in some way. But it's going to be capturing, moments in, like, just basically like candid pictures or even some posed pictures. Capturing different areas of life, but also at the same time being distorted in a way. Like, here's another, I'll show you a couple examples. Like, here's one where the faces are very blurry. The rest of it's pretty clear, but the faces are all blurred out and distorted in a way. This one was tough to work on because, like in this picture, that's my dad, his mother, my grandma, and one of my uncles. So I know all these people, but distorting them in a way. Here's another one. Another distortion. This one's more of a mechanical distortion of like, say, the camera, like it just gets warped. So this one was fun, actually. With this one, I had to go into Photoshop with the reference image, and these are all the reference images that these are part of are images that I took or that I own. So a lot of them are like me and my family and my friends. But anyway, I had to go into Photoshop and like kind of warp it that way. Oh, what happened to my music? It's probably saying, "Are you still here?" Yes, I am still here. Yes, continue watching. Thank you. And then this third one. This one is almost like, again, like a mechanical error with the camera where it gets very whited out. Like half the picture didn't even develop. You can't see the faces. Everything's kind of blown out of proportion. Like the contrast is too high. But that's kind of what grief can do to our memory. It can distort it. I'm kind of doing this through the frame of my mom passed away in 2016, and just for frame of reference, like for the longest time, the only memories that I could conjure up of my mom were when she was in the hospital, right? Because it was so recent and so close and so visceral. And then over time, you start to regain some of the memories that you had all along, but kind of got repressed, right? So I'm kind of looking to like capture some of that with some of that feeling with these pieces. But yeah, interesting effect. Oh, thank you, and thank you for the condolences. Yeah, it's it's one of those things that like gets easier over time. Easier to deal with. Like, it doesn't go away. And a big part of this show is going to be about the fact that like grief doesn't go away. It just gets easier to manage. Because a lot of times we hear about people overcoming their grief, and if you do overcome your grief, kudos to you. But a lot of people don't overcome it. They just deal with it easier. And sometimes not even that. Sometimes it doesn't get easier for them. So I want to kind of shed light on that. Exactly, you grow around your grief. And this show, it's going to be about all the different types of grief too, because like you don't only grieve death of a loved one, right? You can grieve a relationship breaking down. You can grieve a missed opportunity. You can grieve your favorite TV show not ending the way you want to, right? We experience grief in so many different ways, so I don't want these pieces to be specific about death, per se. That's kind of, again, what they're framed around, like the death of my mother, but they aren't only about death. They're about the grieving process as a whole. And I like the way you put that, Andromeda, that we grow around our grief. Because I would say that that's 100% true. Yeah, I really like that. I might I'm not gonna lie. When there's the opening reception and all that, I might steal that line. That we grow around our grief. I like that a lot. I'll steal it with your permission. Part of these vignettes that are going to be happily granted, awesome, thank you. Part of these vignettes too that's going to be is sort of like how grief can distort our memory, but also framed through the lens of these stages of grief, because there's that famous, like there's the 5 stages of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. But there's more than just 5 stages. And the whole 5 stages things also kind of lends itself to making you think that, you're going to experience them in sequence. Some people relapse, and start experiencing, if they already went through denial, and are through to, like, say, bargaining or something, they'll go back to anger or whatever. Some people get stuck in one of the stages of grief and never get out of it. A lot of people get stuck in anger. A lot of people get stuck in the depressive stage. A lot of people get stuck in denial, and that's a whole nother ball of wax when that happens. Some people don't experience it in sequence, Exactly. Healing is not linear. So I want to talk about, I want to kind of show that with these works as well. And also, there's not just 5, right? There's other stages of grief that are rarely talked about. Fear is a big one, loss and or questioning of faith, with depression, because a lot of times you think of depression in terms of the 5 stages of grief. Depression is sort of described as like sadness, right? But you actually get actual symptoms of, clinical chemical depression, which is like, apathy. You don't really feel anything. You're just kind of numb to everything, right? That's another stage of grief that is rarely talked about. How you don't really feel anything at all. You're just kind of stuck, and you can't get out of it. So yeah, I'm kind of exploring all of this with these works. So flowcharts are convenient, but it's not the human experience. Exactly. I know someone, if you're coming into the stream, you might be like, "Oh man, this is a somber topic," but I think these topics are important to explore sometimes, and I mean, that's a big reason why I'm doing this show, right? Like why I chose it as my theme. However, we were also talking earlier about how, like, my girlfriend and I and some friends went to an escape room. So, have y'all ever played? This is a hard right turn from what we were talking about, but it just popped in my mind. Have y'all ever played those Next games? They're like board games, except it's like a board game version of an escape room, and they're really I really enjoy them. They're really fun. Disassociation is a normal part of the human survival instinct and has varying depths. Like anything, it can become too extreme if one is not taught how to establish physical and emotional safety. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, you played one with your sister and her friends. Yeah. Yeah. I like those things. It was based on The Thing. Really? Wow. That would be interesting. That would actually be terrifying. Because that's such a terrifying film. That's really cool. But yeah, Andromeda, you're absolutely right. Fun co-op strategy game. Yeah. Yeah. But you're absolutely right about disassociation. It was kind of scary because it got really hard to tell who was infected. Yeah, that's what I love about the. That's what I love about the movie The Thing. You know, you're never really sure who's the Thing and who's not, who's still human. Even at the end of the film, you're not really sure. You know. But yeah, I definitely feel that that disassociation part. You know, it's tough. You know. A big part of why this I decided to do this series of works is because I see too often like this idea of, you know, overcoming grief, and it's like, well, I don't know, a lot of people don't overcome it. It's not something you can overcome. What grief ends up being is like, it starts out as a terrible overbearing force, and then if you're lucky, it turns into kind of like an annoying roommate that you have to deal with every once and again. You know. Speaking of The Thing, I'm going to say something that might be a little controversial, but I ask you all to hear me out. Because this isn't coming from a place that you think it is. I mean, I love the 1982 version of The Thing with like Kurt Russell and all of them, and I do like the remake that came out a few years ago. But I think one way in which the remake kind of did a disservice to the story is it introduced sexual tension in it with some of the characters, you know. And that's one thing that wasn't in the 1982 film. And I think it served it because, like, the only tension that was in that film was purely who is the Thing and who isn't, right? The newer version of it, I mean, it's good. It's good. I don't think the CGI holds up nearly as well as the practical effects they did for the 1982 version. But the one thing that... oh, yeah, that is true, Andromeda. The first one was from the 50s. Yeah. But yeah, the 82 version, I think because there's only one singular source of tension, and it's really high tension, I think it serves the story better than the remake did. because like there's always kind of like a, you know, there were some characters where like there was some sexual tension, and it's like that doesn't really need to be in this story, you know. Shot on Glacier National Park. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think that's right. Yeah. Andromeda, do you have a favorite favorite horror movie or thriller or anything like that? Because I mean, 'tis the season. It is spooky season. Hard choice. I love films from the early 1900s on down, so there's many to choose from. Ah, fair. Fair. Yeah, I think I remember you saying in one of your streams that you're a fan of like super super old classic movies as well, which is really cool. While you're thinking, if you are thinking about it, my favorite horror movie, my favorite movie, period. But as such, my favorite horror movie is The Shining. I love The Shining. Very divisive amongst some horror fans, but I've always loved The Shining from the first time I watched it when I was back in high school. I love that movie. I also like the fact that I hope that it's not done exploitatively. I hope that she's doing all right mentally, but I saw somewhere that Shelley Duvall is going to be in a movie, like her first movie role in years, because she kind of went through multiple mental health crises in her personal life. And kind of like disappeared off the face of the map for a little bit. So I hope that she's in a good place. I hope they're not just using her for having like Shelley Duvall in a horror movie. I hope she's doing all right, and I hope she absolutely kills it. I forget which movie it is. I forget what it's called, but I love House on Haunted Hill and The Raven, both with Vincent Price. Also love the numerous Sleepy Hollow film adaptations over the years. Ooh, nice. My dad, for the longest time, said that that one movie that stuck with him from when he was a kid was The Raven, like that it terrified him. But yeah, those are both great. Also like the Sleepy Hollows. Actually, the only Sleepy Hollow that I've seen was the one with Johnny Depp. Come to think of it, that's the only one I've seen. So if you feel free to recommend any other ones that you enjoy, because yeah, like horror movies are my favorite type of movies. You know. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee's Hammer films are a good camp treat. Ah, true, true. Few people know that Jeff Goldblum starred as Ichabod Crane when he was in his early 20s. Ah, see, I didn't know that. I had no idea. That's really cool. See, I'm learning things today. Oh. My dad used to tell a story too about how there was an old TV show called The Ghoul or something like that. It was like an anthology horror series, I think. And one of my aunts, like his youngest sister, that show used to terrify her. But apparently, their landlord in one of the places they lived looked like the Ghoul or something like that. Or didn't look like the Ghoul, but like he would walk up the stairs and there was a shadow cast, and I think that was one of the things that happened in the TV show The Ghoul. Was you would see the Ghoul's shadow coming up the stairs, and that would happen every once and again, and my aunt would just be terrified. Also, I love Lon Chaney's makeup and stunt work in his horror roles. To this day, I think he remains the only person to free climb the facade of Notre Dame. Yeah, kudos to him. that's quite the daunting thing to do. My goodness. Yeah, because I think you're right. I think he is the only one that's done that. I think you're absolutely right. Whew, excuse me. All right. All right, that looks pretty good actually. I like how that turned out, and the blur effect and everything. I like how this turned out. I'm gonna clean up some of the edges and all that kind of stuff, and do a few more things to it. But I think this is actually safe for me to sign, which is really cool because we get to finish the stream with it. Here we go. So now we got our John Hancock on there. Thank you, Andromeda. I appreciate that. So yeah, I'm going to make a few alterations to it, like just some small little changes, but hey, Racing Kid 13, thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. So yeah, this is number 4 of like 50. So we still got a lot of work to do, but we'll get there. We will get there. All right. Yes, thank you. All right, let me tip this back up here. Never mind the mess in the background. We're artists aren't always the neatest bunch, myself included. But thank you all for coming out to this impromptu stream. We usually don't stream this time on Sundays, but I had some time tonight since my girlfriend's in a meeting, and I wasn't doing anything anyway, so it's like, hey, I might as well stream. So, and we missed a stream yesterday because I was busy yesterday, so kind of made up for it today. So, yeah, thank you everybody for coming out. Give you one last look at this. There we go. Nah, Squid, thank you for coming in. Thank you everybody for coming in. I've said it multiple times before, but it's true. You all are really the I like that emote. That posh emote, that's fun. You all are really what make the stream. I mean, without you guys, like, this would just be me talking to myself, making art like I do anyway. But you all make it fun and interactive, so thank you all. Yes, thank you, Andromeda. I appreciate it. Definitely see you soon. Let's see. Who can we raid out to? Who can we raid out to? Let's see. I'm gonna wait a couple of minutes because one of my Twitch friends might be starting their stream soon. Like, because they usually go on around 9, so I'm gonna see if they do, and if not, we'll find somebody else. We only gotta wait a couple of minutes. Let's see. Actually, let me check her Twitter. Let's see. Okay, I don't see any notification that they're gonna actually be streaming today, but we'll still wait a couple of minutes, see if they come on. We'll just wrap for a little bit while we're waiting. So yeah, my plan, like I said, for these drawings is to finish about 50 of them because they're all going to be placed all around this particular gallery space that for the show, I actually have the privilege of having two gallery spaces: the main gallery, and then there's another gallery within the building that they want me to fill with stuff. So that second one, I'm going to do all these charcoal drawings in. So hopefully that works out. You know, I've got a lot of work to do. Like I said, this is number 4 out of 50 that we just finished. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm pretty encouraged by how they've been turning out. Basically, my biggest worry right now is like trying to find more pictures. It's not even a worry. It's just like which pictures are going to be good, which ones aren't, to work with. Because I'm going to have to like edit them some ways and all that. So we'll see how far that goes. But I'm really excited for the paintings, and I am going to be streaming the paintings as well. Don't you worry. But the paintings will be coming. It's just I figured I was waiting for my canvas rolls to be shipped in, and they have finally shipped in. So we were going to do these charcoal drawings in the meantime. But I'm going to be doing some completely new stuff with the paintings. Because usually I do like big acrylic paintings, those are going to be part of this as well. But I'm also going to be doing smaller oil paintings of figures. And I haven't done paintings of figures, like full-on figurative paintings in a very long time. I have not painted the human form in full, like center stage, in a very long time. So I got some relearning to do. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, it'll be fun. It'll be fun to explore that and work on it, you know. Okay, it doesn't look like that person's coming on. So let's see if I can find someone else. Okay, it doesn't look like any of my art friends are on, so what we're going to do is we are going to raid a streamer by the name of Natty by Nature, who is playing Resident Evil 7. What is that? Village? No, Village is 8. 7 is Biohazard. Yeah. But yeah, so we're going from art to a game, but hopefully y'all are into that. But yeah, we're going to go say hi to Natty by Nature. I really enjoy her streams. So, we're going to go say hello. It's her first playthrough of Resident Evil 7 too. So, that makes it even better. Okay, there we go. So yeah, thank you all for coming in again. Again, probably won't stream tomorrow because my girlfriend's with the winter training starting for Dragon Boat. Her schedule is changing a little bit more, so streams are probably going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then weekends now instead of Monday. But I'll let you all know on Twitter tomorrow whether I end up streaming or not. But if I do, hopefully we'll see you there. It'll be some more art. If not, we will see you on Tuesday for Paper Mario. And then Wednesday and Thursday will probably be art streams, and then we'll do stuff on the weekend with Breath of the Wild and maybe some more art. So in the meantime, let's all go say hi to Nat, and hopefully y'all have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful Halloween. So, take it easy, everybody. Thank you for coming in and joining us today. I really do appreciate all of y'all. All right. And let me get the right scene here. All right. Bye, everybody.